Hello, welcome to Guides to the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
I'm William.
Happy ho-ho holidays, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, it's coming up. If you're listening, if you're watching, you might notice that we are in a different location than usual. We are sitting right next to William's beautiful full Christmas tree.
Thank you very much. My wife decorated it.
Yay!
Yay. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
Kristen and I are doing something a little bit different this week. Usually on the show, we talk about monsters that we've researched, but I've been seeing it more and more recently, and we got around to talking about it. People have been freaking out about this old tradition that people evidently used to do in the holiday season, where on Christmas Eve, whatever you celebrate, it was traditionally known as a time to tell scary stories.
Yeah, there's a Smithsonian article about it that's been going around all December that maybe hit you in some Facebook page that you follow or something.
And somehow this tradition got lost to the ages. People stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And now that we know that this is a thing humans used to do, a lot of people are asking, why did we ever stop?
Where are our ghost stories?
And so we are here to bring that tradition back.
That's right.
And so we're going to be reading you some actual paranormal stories sent to us by listeners of this show. So if you sent us a story, there's a very good chance that you're about to hear us talk to each other about it right here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we get to that.
Before that, William, I want to decorate the tree.
Yeah.
With an item that I've brought. I believe you have one too.
I believe I do.
Perhaps a cursed item. A damned item.
Yeah. Kristen and I, let me set it up a little bit too, because here's mine.
Go right ahead.
Here's mine.
Okay.
We'll have
Hefty.
to. I know. We'll have to describe
now I feel like a
these.
Cheapskate. Hefty cinch sack.
We'll have to describe these for the people who are only listening.
Yeah.
As well, but you can see these things that Kristen and I have made if you watch the video version. Kristen and I made our very own dybbuk boxes.
That's right. Cursed boxes.
There's a previous episode of Guide to the Unknown where Kristen told us the story of the dybbuk box, which is an artifact that's supposed to contain
a demon. A dybbuk is a Jewish demon, I believe. I think it's a Yiddish word for a demon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a box that was said to bring misfortune to everybody who encountered it. And then it seems like since our episode, but it seems like with Zach Bagans procuring, and I would say popularizing the dybbuk box, I feel like dybbuk box has become almost a catch-all term for a cursed box.
Right.
So we're just using that for our items.
Exactly. And so Kristen's birthday was November 30th.
Yep.
And sort of last minute, I thought it would be fun to... another thing that Kristen told us about in a previous episode is these haunted eBay listings.
Yeah.
That people will write a story and, put a spooky looking doll up on eBay for people to bid on.
Right.
So I decided to chase something like that down to get Kristen a haunted artifact for her birthday. And I found this. This is, Kristen, describe it for our listening audience.
Okay. So it is a ceramic box with an angel on top of it, and it has been painted gray all over the place to look aged. Now, when William handed me this, I didn't really register at first that it was painted gray. I kind of thought that it was made out of iron or something.
Right.
And then I just kind of clocked that her face was dirty, but I just didn't think about it that much. But if you turn it over on the bottom, they're like paint brush strokes on it.
And not only that, I noticed just this afternoon, there's an entire part
oh my God,
that they missed when they were painting this thing to make it look scary.
And so, I had said to Will, benefit of the doubt. I mean, maybe they bought it this way. Maybe it was, because Will was like, they painted it to look old and cursed. And I was like, well, maybe they bought it that way or something. But then we went on to the eBay seller's eBay account to look at their other items for sale. Yeah. And they had another box that was painted the exact same way. So it was definitely painted to look aged and scary.
Oh, without a doubt. And so the listing was called dybbuk Spirit Box Sealed. Found in abandoned house attic, haunted / paranormal. Just every single possible word to try to grab your attention.
Yeah.
And so they said that it was sealed with wax. All bidders...
I would say...
Poorly.
Yeah.
Poorly. All bidders will remain anonymous. Warning, this is not a toy. Do not, under any circumstances, open this box. So I gave this to Kristen in the front entryway of my house here, and Kristen immediately was like, huh, and popped it open.
Yeah.
It was like the first thing she did.
It smells really bad.
Oh, it smells terrible. And there's just garbage inside.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It looks like pieces of abalone shell. With like holes run through it for stringing or something like that. I know that abalone shell is used in some rituals, like traditionally for smudging a house with sage or I guess whatever else you'd want.
Yeah.
You use an abalone shell underneath it to catch the ashes and stuff. So I don't know if they like knew that and they were like, oh, we'll add a little bit of like abalone mystical zing. I think that might be too thoughtful.
I think it is too thoughtful because I honestly think that some of the appeal is that you're not supposed to open these things.
I mean, it was not even sealed.
No, I know.
Give me a break.
But I mean, that's what they say is that you're not supposed to open them at all. So like they were going for the effect of the jingle inside.
True.
Not even necessarily for you to see it.
True.
Right?
It could have been an old skeleton key in there, something very scary.
Yeah, that would have been way cooler.
Yeah, but you could think that if you're just listening to the jingle. I think you make a good point.
Little fantasy.
Theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind. So then Kristen and I got to talking.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the ways in which the Patreon account, patreon.com/GTTUpod, enriches Guide to the Unknown and the way that we try to use it to give back. And so Kristen and I set a challenge for each other to create our own dybbuk boxes.
Right.
So we are going to take a look at each of our boxes right now, and in 1 week's time, we are going to pick one of you.
Yeah.
Actually, two of you.
Yes, two.
Who we will send these dybbuk boxes, and you can keep them in your home forevermore. And the ways, just to say before we go ahead and open these boxes and describe what we've concocted.
Right.
If you are a member of our Patreon, you are already entered into the contest just by supporting us. Bingo.
Yeah, you have 7 entries right off the bat without having to do anything else. 7 is a magically powerful number.
Absolutely.
So your chances are pretty good.
So when we draw names from a hat, you will have 7 pieces of paper in that hat. You've already got a leg up. Everybody else, if you're not a member of the Patreon, we completely understand. We know that it's not always easy to commit funds to a piece of entertainment, especially not in this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to enter the contest to put your name in the hat, what we need you to do is share Guide to the Unknown. Write a post on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you tag us, because if we don't see that you did this, we don't know to put your name in the hat. Write blog posts, share Guide to the Unknown with your other favorite podcasters, show people, spread the word. Essentially, get us out there, and you are going to be entered to win one of these 2 boxes.
Yeah, 1 entry per share.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so also Patreon people, if you want to like up your entries, you can share as well, and that'll be added on top of your existing 7.
100%. I think maybe we should also do a no-brainer rule of like, you can't just do like 5,000 in one day.
Well,
like, oh my gosh. Let's say
if it's like obvious spam or something.
Yeah, you get up to like 3 a day or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be reasonable.
It's kind of arbitrary.
I doubt that they're going to do that, but it's not bad to say.
It'd be a good problem to have that everybody was sharing 1,000 things, but I don't know. Just throwing it out.
Now, wait, William, did you write a story to go with yours?
Well, I know a little bit about this artifact, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote as though we're an eBay listing kind of thing.
Okay, perfect.
For mine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read that to you, and then you can tell me about yours.
Absolutely. So let me describe to everybody what your box looks like.
Okay.
It almost looks like a miniature cigar box to me.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful natural wood, light wood colored with ornate carvings along
it's really
each
quite
side.
Beautiful.
And some beautiful red and blue, would you call this filigree?
I would call it filigree, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word.
I don't know either, honestly.
No,
embellishment.
It's a very, it's a nice little light box. It's very comforting looking. I can see this on a shelf and make a wonderful display piece.
Feels good in the hand.
It does. It does.
Okay. So this is what would be in my eBay listing for this box. But of course, I'll just be giving it to you good people. But just to keep in the theme, you understand. Okay. Because, I'm sorry, I'm annoying. I don't know, because if people haven't listened to the Haunted eBay Items episode, I want to explain, a lot of the haunted items that are on eBay, their listing has like a story. It'll be like, I entered the haunted house and looked in the cabinet or whatever. So I wrote it in that style, just so you understand what's going on here.
Right.
A little bit less weird. It's intentionally weird. Okay. I was standing by the table at my garage sale when he approached me. I barely noticed him at first. Suddenly, there was a small man wearing a dark suit and hat in front of me, holding a carved wooden box. Can I put something here? Anyone who knows you both is welcome to it, free of charge. The question caught me off guard in general, but the wording especially gave me pause. Anyone who knows who? I asked. You and your brother, he said, smiling, displaying wide rows of blackened teeth. The two. Excuse me, I said, feeling my face get red. What was happening? My eyes briefly darted from him, looking for anyone I knew, reassurance that I hadn't dropped into another dimension. When I looked back, he was gone. I don't know who he was or where he's from, but I don't want to mess with his wishes. That's why I didn't leave it on the table at the garage sale, where a random neighbor could have picked it up. I'm passing it on to someone who knows us, who knows Will and I. The two. It's a pretty box lined with a colorful lining. Could have given that another pass. I wonder if it covers anything. It holds an incense cone and a rolled piece of paper with a message I haven't looked at. Instructions, perhaps?
Oh my.
It isn't meant for me. It's meant for you. That's it.
Am I permitted to open this box?
You may open it.
For but a cursory look?
Right. Not too far.
Not too far.
For the dybbuk could escape.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I want to say about the dybbuk box that I gave Kristen, popped it open immediately in the front entryway. Immediately, a bunch of my equipment here started going haywire. Allie's been knitting a gigantic thing, and there was a calamitous mistake with her knitting machine.
Wait, are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes. And
like that night something went weird with your equipment?
All week. Ever since I gave it to you, honestly.
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious. I think I have to buy a new mixer.
Uh-oh.
And these are not insignificant things that we've been experiencing here. And I told Allie that you want to keep the dybbuk box here to have it displayed behind us during the show. And she's like, tell her to take this thing away. Like,
I don't want it.
Get this thing out of the house. So Kristen immediately cursed our home. So we're gonna open more dybbuk boxes here in the living room.
Is that all true, Will?
That is all true.
That's weird.
That is all true. All right, now let's open up
taking that thing.
the box that Kristen made here. Let's see.
Okay.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful. I love the sky scene. There's like, it's lined with paper inside of birds flying away over the clouds.
Ravens, perhaps?
Perhaps.
An ominous bird?
They may be ravens. And yes, indeed, incense to light, to spark. Perhaps to spark the fear in your heart. Who can say?
And I don't want to peel it too far, but I couldn't help but notice, but it seems that this paper is not entirely attached to the box. I wonder
that's so cool.
What lies beneath.
That's so cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, no more mysteries can be revealed here safely because, as Kristen said, this message is not intended for us.
No, this small man in the dark suit with the wide blackened smile and the hat says it's for one of our followers, one of our listeners, of us, the two.
The two. So you will have to spread word of our doings to earn your message.
Yes.
Hey, Al, come here for a second. Allie, come here for a second. My wife just came home. What did you say about the dybbuk box that Kristen opened in our home?
Oh, it's been causing all sorts of problems ever since you opened it. So thanks for doing that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What sort of problems?
Let's see. So Will's PlayStation account got closed.
Oh, that's true.
Like right away.
This is strange.
Wait, there's so much other.
I got a friend request from somebody who listens to this show though, because I got reinstated. So thank you so much.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what other bad stuff has happened?
My board is fried.
Oh yeah, Will's board is fried.
Oh, also, curiously, some sort of a malaise, a wafting, faint cloud of gray descended on my brain, making me unwilling to, unmotivated. Perhaps a depression, you might say.
Right.
No, that's from before.
I think it was the box.
Wait, did you give me the box right before I got food poisoning?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
3 other things.
There have been several other things that have happened where,
It's just like random weirdness.
Uh-oh.
It's like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. Weirdness.
Yeah, real weird. Okay, now
This
describe...
box isn't so fake after all. Yikes.
All right, please describe the dybbuk box that I made for you, and then I will tell you the tale behind it.
Okay, so it's a large box. I would say it's almost like bread box shaped. It's cool looking. It's like leather or faux leather, maybe a nice pleather. It's embossed with roses. It has like brass hardware on it, and along the sides, it's kind of edged in I thought it was metal for a second.
Right.
It's edged in something that seems to have arcane symbols pressed into it.
I know. Very strange, isn't it?
Yes. It's a cool box.
So let me tell you a little bit about this box because it's in shockingly good condition for where it was found.
Yeah.
In the town that Kristen and I live, this is a very old town. There's a lot of old history here. It's called Highland Park, literally because this land is raised up. It's not sea level. There's just like certain characteristics to it that harken back to a time where people were venturing across these great United States and discovering parcels of land and calling it obvious names because that's really all they had at their disposal. So one of the oldest families in this town, the Bartlett family, Ellie and Norman Bartlett, lived together. She was his mother, and he never left home.
Yeah.
He essentially had a complete failure to launch, never left the nest. And so Norman Bartlett and Ellie Bartlett were living together while he was 50 and while she was 75 before tragedy struck. The neighbors said that they were always quiet. They seemed...
Is this a true story?
This is a true story.
Okay.
They seemed incredibly kind, polite. They didn't speak to the neighbors very much, but when they did, everybody got the impression that these were very well-educated people and, you know, maybe their circumstances were odd, but there was no reason to think that anything unfortunate had happened to them before or was going on within the household.
Yeah.
Until the fire. So the house burned down, the Bartlett house, with both Ellie and Norman inside it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they both passed away in this fire. And as the cleanup crews came by to clear away the remains of the house, the ash, the broken chunks of brick from the chimney that had fallen over, they found Norman in the living room with his arms crossed over his chest. But in his hands
this
box. And for having been in a massive fire...
It's in pretty good shape.
You can see that it has not burned at all.
Yeah.
I am not sure why this box escaped the lick of the flame.
Nor I.
Now, Kristen, feel free to open it up and take a cursory look inside.
Okay.
Again, not too close.
All right, guys. I'm going to open the Bartlett box.
Bartlett.
Bort box.
Bartlett.
My goodness. Okay, we have here a candle holder containing a candle.
I thought this was strange, the leathery skin.
Huh, to say the least.
Yeah.
Oh, is this little Norman himself?
This might be the Bartlett boy.
This might be a totem
from another
of
time.
The Bartlett boy.
From another time.
Singed.
Singed, though, it was found in the box.
Right.
And the outside of the box bears no sign of fire.
Remains quite clean. I've got ash on the fingers. Ooh, and then we have sealed within a glass jar stones and a note.
Yeah.
That seems to also have been burned. But how was this note burned from within the glass jar within the Bartlett box? And
What's more,
William,
the brickwork inside the box appears to be from the foundation of the Bartlett house. But how could they have broken chunks of the Bartlett foundation sealed in this box before the house ever burned?
How could this be?
How could it be?
And William, within the box's ceiling,
What?
top, the words, "I am sorry," are carved.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Go ahead.
Are you serious?
Take a gander.
I did not do that one. I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't do that. I'm telling you. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There's a secret meaning to something in this box, but I did not do that. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't tell what's real and what's fake anymore.
No, I'm serious. That's awesome.
Wait, William, are you really serious?
Sorry?
It says, I am sorry.
I'm sorry. It's scratched on the top of this box. That's great. All right. Well, in order to learn more of the Bartlett story,
you did that, you stinky.
You'll have to enter the contest to win.
Yes.
Again, as a huge thank you to our Patreon peeps, without whom we would not be able to do this show, nor would we be able to go around creating dybbuk boxes for each other.
Yes.
Who has handwriting in smashing something in the...
Oh, with that, definitely. That's your handwriting.
Oh, yeah. We were also on the show American Hysteria this weekend. It was super fun.
Hell yeah. You carved that.
Anyway.
Okay.
Patreon peeps, you already have 7 entries apiece.
Yes.
And you can always earn more. People who are not members of our Patreon, you can also enter the contest to win one of these 2 boxes by sharing Guide to the Unknown. Just make sure we can see that you have done that.
That's right.
Yeah. And there you have it. Our dybbuk boxes. Kristen and I have created cursed artifacts.
That's right. So do your thing and earn these curses.
Yeah, they could damn your soul.
Yeah. Cool.
I'll take it to the side for now.
Cool.
And there you have it. All right. That was almost a show unto itself.
I know.
That's,
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. It's
Did
begun.
it open? Did it open? Will's box fell.
But there you have it. They might also, by the way, these boxes might have additional things in them by the time they get to you.
Oh. Well, now I'm going to look like a scrub.
Well, you are a scrub. Okay. All right. Let's revive the old tradition.
Let's do it.
The traditions of yore. So, folks out there, you have sent us stories of paranormal events that you have experienced yourself in your life. We are going to share them on the show right now. So that we can all,
of course,
enjoy your torment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. So I believe I'm
you are reading first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this first story comes to us from Kristen Ellers. Here we go. My family lives in Utah. I'm in Florida. I got a phone call on Easter Sunday telling me my dad had fallen and gone to the hospital, but everything was fine. My father had had a stroke when I was 2 years old and had been paralyzed ever since. He used a walker and could not use his left arm at all, so accidents were fairly common. 30 minutes later, I got another call saying that he had passed away. That night, I had a dream that my family, minus Dad, were at an old-timey 50s diner, eating and discussing funeral arrangements. I looked up, and across the room was a man sitting in a booth backlit by sunlight shining through the window behind him. He was looking down at his plate with a knife and fork in his hands. He looked up at me and smiled, and I realized it was a younger version of my dad from before his stroke. My family was still talking, and I did not notice him. He smiled and said, "It's going to be okay. You will all be just fine." I woke up feeling very much at peace. I flew to Utah and told my mom about the dream on the drive to her house from the airport. She cut me off saying, "Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this." But the thing is, I hadn't told her. Then she realized that my sister had actually told her about the dream. When I saw my sister later, I asked if she had dreamt about Dad. She told me her dream, and it was the exact same dream down to the last detail. I thought it was pretty cool, and that my dad made sure that we knew he was all right.
Isn't that nice?
That is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of... Kristen and I have been through events.
Yeah. Events.
We've been through some events.
Yeah, certainly have.
And I've always felt like if you happen to have a dream of a loved one who passed away, whether or not that is some way of some method of theirs to communicate with you from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
They're real enough to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you've got this built up idea in your head of what your friends and family are like to you. So it's just as real.
Yeah.
You know, like you can take that as, I don't know, verifiable contact because you're speaking to the person as they exist in your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can imagine how weird that would be to have that experience and find out that your sibling had the exact same experience.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
That is very
and
cool.
very comforting. I'm sure that was nice for you and your sister, Kristen.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, so now I'm going to read one from Jenny Lentz. My husband and I were married last fall at a beautiful farm in Bucks County, PA, which is not super far from where we are.
Yeah.
The farm and barn date back to the early 1700s. While working late into the evening setting up with the owner shortly before the event, we were discussing how it was a pet-friendly venue and some couples chose to include their pets in the ceremony. She started a story about a particular dog in a past wedding and then stopped short, claiming she didn't want to freak me out before the wedding and that it was a little spooky. Well, obviously, since I'm a fan of your podcast, I'm not I'm not only not turned off by spooky events, I'm into them.
Mm-hmm.
So she explains how several guests at a recent wedding had encountered a friendly pooch mingling among the party and basically sniffing around, greeting people and looking for snacks. When the owner asked the special couple what made them change their mind about bringing their pup along, they replied that they hadn't, nor had any of their guests. In fact, half of the people who the dog had been sitting near had never even seen it. There was no dog.
Oh, boy.
In addition, the owner's daughter, who is the on-site bartender, encountered a darker version of the ghostly canine while she was cleaning up after a late-night wedding. The driveway that leads from the top of the property to the parking area is a fairly long gravel path through empty woods and fields, and unlit except for a few solar walkway lights. While headed back to her car, something the size of a large dog seemed to fall or jump out of a tree a short distance ahead of her. She froze and couldn't make it out, but waited for it to run off, thinking it may have been a deer or a coyote. Instead, the creature reared back on its hind legs and started approaching her. She turned tail and booked it back up the driveway to the farmhouse, hearing the crunch of gravel under the feet of whatever was following behind her. She made it back to the house and awoke her parents, but by then, whatever it was had disappeared. She could only describe it as chupacabra-like, a dark dog-shaped being. The owner of the farm apologized for the creepy background so close to my own wedding, and I assured her that I was not turned off. I told a select few of my wedding guests to be on the lookout the night of the nuptials, but unfortunately we didn't experience anything supernatural except a scary hangover the next day. Even though we didn't see anything, my 5-year-old son happily reminds all of our friends to watch out for chupacabras when they go out at night. And then she said thanks and said nice things.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
Thank you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I would have been the same way if they were like, oh, I was about to tell you the scary story, but no, I'd better not. I'd be like, well, pull up a chair and let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Rewind that. You're telling me.
Yeah.
You're telling me now.
It's happening.
Man, what do you do?
What do you mean? Oh, what do you do if there's like a dog?
Yeah.
The same thing they did. I would have turned tail, as Jenny said, and gotten the hell out of there.
Yeah, I guess if it's an animal, you don't
It
want
said it reared up on its hind legs and was approaching. I don't know.
No. Yeah, I
don't know if that means the whole time. It was like walking.
Oh, no. Like a bear?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I guess in some circumstances, like something mysterious happens, you want to track it down. But
Yeah.
I guess if it's an animal.
No, they're too unpredictable.
Yeah, you're right.
I love animals, but no, I'm not pursuing that.
And like territorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a regular animal, it could freak out at you. And if it's some sort of like supernatural animal, it could freak out at you supernaturally.
Yeah, for sure. I thought at first this story was going to be like nobody brought a dog, like it was a ghost dog.
Yeah.
You know, running around chasing all of them.
I mean, it may be. It's hard to say. We don't know if it's a ghost dog or if it is some sort of like chupacabra or what do they call it? Hellhound type creature.
Yeah, a Zool.
Yeah.
A Vince
Up on
Glortho.
its hind legs.
Yeah. All right. Our next story comes to us from Diane Gilbert. All right. I was newly single, and a high school friend decided I needed a night out. We met at a small country bar that she liked. I had never been there. We had a drink, and some guys started coming to the table. I turned around, and there was an older gentleman sitting in the chair next to me. He introduced himself. He said, "I know who you are, and so do some of the other people in here. I was a friend of your father's, and there are some of these people that would try to take you to get to him." I turned to my friend and I said, get a load of this guy. We both turned and he was gone. I didn't really pay attention to him, but I started feeling really uncomfortable and decided to go home. The next day, I told my father that I had met a friend of his the night before. He asked me who it was, and I told him his name. My father got very quiet and asked me what he looked like. I described him, and my dad got very pale. He said, "You couldn't have seen him. He died 3 weeks ago. I was a pallbearer at his funeral." The description I had given him was correct, down to the type of ball cap he wore. I never went back to that place again. Sort of a guardian angel type situation as well.
I think so. I wonder what was with the people in that bar or whatever it was, bar.
Yeah.
That they liked. Why were they after Diane Gilbert?
Because that's the secret,
Yeah.
truly scary thing hiding inside this story.
Yeah,
On
is
the
that there are
surface
a
of it.
bunch of people who know you here and who would take you out or whatever?
I guess. Or take you.
Take you. Yeah.
Just take you to get to your father. Because, like at surface value, you go like, oh, there was the person I spoke to. I turned back
Right.
and he was gone. Like that feels like it's got to be the central thing, but no.
No, it's that the real people who are around you are the threat.
Right.
The ghost person is actually your friend and
Yeah.
helping you.
Trying to help you.
You want to
People in
lean
here-
into them.
The people in here know who you are.
Yeah.
You're in this situation. Can you imagine this situation? Like, forget even the.
I'd be like, why do they want me?
I know. Forget even the ghost aspect almost. But you're in like a bar. You're hanging out, having a whale of a time, and then you turn and there's a person standing there, and they're just like, "You need to be careful because several of these people are watching you.
Right.
You need to leave. You need to get out of here now."
They would take you.
They would take you.
I'd be out.
That would be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
That's so scary.
I'd be like, you know what? You just gave me a perfect out to leave. I didn't really want to be out anyway, but I didn't want to cancel plans again.
Right.
Thank you for giving me a solid reason.
Yeah.
And then I'm out of there. I'm on the couch. I'm watching. Nailed it.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Smell you later, creeps.
Yep.
Let's see some dummies make cakes.
Yeah. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you very much.
And what the hell?
yeah,
Okay.
jumping Jehoshaphat.
Yeah. So this one comes from Stephanie Soltis. During my undergrad, I lived in an old farmhouse off campus of University of Iowa. I believe it was built in 1900. One day while I was doing laundry in the basement, I felt someone watching me. I glanced over my shoulder and saw a face staring at me through a crack in the wall separating the front part of the basement, we used it for parties, and the back part, which was creepy and had tons of spiders. I grabbed my cat and ran up the stairs. For the next few months, I did my laundry at the laundromat and moved Meatloaf, my cat BFF, his litter box upstairs. The overall creepy vibe at the time only happened... Oops. Oh, man.
What'd you do?
I tried to flick a notification out of the way and I accidentally clicked on it. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, so we moved Meatloaf's litter box upstairs. The overall creepy vibe at the time only happened near the basement stairs, and I would run past it, which gave all my friends ammunition to tease me relentlessly about it. Then it moved to my room, so when a new roommate moved in, I gave him my haunted room, and I moved to the top floor, which is a shitty move on my part, but he knew that I thought the house was haunted. Move forward another year of me completely sure that my house was haunted. I was coming home from my late shift bartending and my roommate was outside with Meatloaf in his carrier and my dog on her leash sitting on the front porch. The fire department was being called and they found an alarmingly high level of carbon monoxide in the basement. My roommate had started to feel the same things I did and was unwilling to admit he felt creepy vibes. He bought a carbon monoxide detector that immediately went off the moment he put in the batteries.
Ooh, that's scary too. I mean, it's scary in a whole different way.
Right, totally. But she had said that she sent this in reaction to us talking about carbon monoxide leading to kind of like incidents of thinking you were being haunted on the show. And she says, in this story, she says, besides that, I don't really have anything. And then she tells us something that I think is like very good.
Okay.
Besides that, I have no big experiences to share firsthand. My daughter, who turns 3 on Saturday, told me last week that she sees a skeleton in her closet and he opens up the curtains and says, "Hey, how you doing today?" Which she says with a heavy, heavy Brooklyn Italian accent. Her dad is a Brooklyn native. We live in a 2-family house upstairs and her great grandma lives downstairs. We go down daily to see Nana Ressa, I'm not sure, and my daughter goes up to a picture of her great grandpa and talks to it. He passed away 31 years ago. She was born premature at 24 weeks and nearly passed away a few times while in the NICU, so I always wonder if she got a bit of The Shining or is more open to things. Either way, she's a happy, healthy, sometimes creepy kid.
That is wild.
Yes. So I think that's not nothing.
No, I don't think that's nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing today?
Yeah, that's who she's talking to in her closet.
Happy skeleton. Mm-hmm. Friendly skeleton.
So cool. And she talks to the picture of her grandpa.
So what do you think? One and the same?
I think she has The Shining.
Yeah, I guess so. But
That's what I think. Babes don't know to lie about that stuff.
well, yeah, I guess. But you could make the argument that it is, like a wild imagination.
Of course, she could hear perhaps her Nana downstairs talk like that or talk about how her grandpa talked like that or something.
Commingled
But-
dreams and real life, not
Right.
realizing that what was something that you thought you experienced was actually a dream. I don't know, just an argument.
I know.
But then other than that, the carbon monoxide face.
Oh my, that you saw a face. You must have died.
Honestly, flat out, not to let the air out of every, fun balloon about, stories of the paranormal. But if you think you see a ghost, I feel like the first thing that you should do is check your carbon monoxide alarm to make sure the batteries are in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
yeah.
if you honestly, like maybe that's
Do you know where your carbon monoxide alarm is?
I'm sure Allie does.
I don't know where that would be.
I've lived in this house for less than a year. Yeah. I don't know. It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
There's one in this very room. Oh yeah, it's plugged in. There's a plug thing.
Oh,
yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah. But no, I feel like have some sort of a paranormal experience.
Yeah. Give
Check
it a
for
look.
carbon monoxide right away.
Yeah.
And then
just to rule it out, if nothing else.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
Because then if you see that there, you're in the clear on carbon monoxide, you're way not in the clear, and that was a ghost.
It's a ghost.
That was a ghost.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which brings us to William. I'm going to ask you to tell us the story of another kid who seems like he has been interacting with some stuff.
100%. I'm going to tell you all a very special story right now. So Allie and I, our friends, the Costas, told us a story of something their son Charlie experienced in their home. They had just moved into a new house. I've flat out made them retell me the story multiple times when we hang out, because I like it when they tell me scary stuff.
Yeah, they told me when we went out to dinner like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. This is a real wild story. Whatever. I'm doing too much preamble. I'm just gonna launch into it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and call this the Yellow Ladies.
I love this, and also this kid is golden.
Oh yeah.
So take her away.
Okay. This is written by my buddy Michael Costa. When my son Charlie was about 2 years old, we moved into a new house. Our house is a ranch-style place in the New Jersey suburbs, not particularly old or of the type that you'd expect to be stereotypically haunted. Charlie was young, and in the upcoming months, we'd eventually transition him to a big boy bed, so no longer sleeping in a crib. But at this point, as of this story, he is still in the crib. He's a little kid. He's got his own room. He's in the crib. He's a mature kid, but at this time his vocabulary was limited to a typical 2-year-old, and that's why they were so surprised when one morning during breakfast, Charlie mentioned something about the Yellow Ladies. We had no idea what he was talking about, and his choice of words was very strange for his age. The Yellow Ladies is a bizarre phrase to hear come out of your kid's mouth at any age, but especially at 2 years old. Charlie wasn't particularly agitated about it. He told us that these Yellow Ladies were yelling at him in the middle of the night. Concerned, we pressed him for more details. Was he scared? Was he having a bad dream? What did they look like? What were they saying? He wasn't very forthcoming about the details. I can't say for sure whether it was out of nervousness or a genuine disinterest. He simply said they were yellow, and I pictured them having yellow skin. And to that end, the movie Sin City or Jaundice.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine, at least.
Yeah.
We were freaked, to say the least. He also said they were yelling at him about, quote-unquote, bad dreams.
Oh, my God.
You gotta imagine this. Your 2-year-old goes, no, they were yelling at me about bad dreams.
I can't imagine.
They were yelling at me in the night.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife remembers that he brought up the story several times, but I don't recall that. And I can't say
he probably
for sure.
Blocked it.
Right, yeah. And I can't say for sure if it was an ongoing experience he had or just him recalling this one incident. Was it a recurring bad dream, or is it just like the one time it was so vivid? He just keeps talking about it because it was
so intense, right?
Yeah. I never knew what to make of the Yellow Ladies, and though I searched his room and the house for any source of inspiration, maybe a stray Simpsons poster or something that might have planted the seed in his imagination, I never found anything that gave the story any basis in reality. When Charlie was older and his vocabulary was much more robust, he's almost 6 now, we brought up the Yellow Ladies again to see if he remembered them. 4 years have passed. He claims he does, but his account of the story is much different now. He recalls that the ladies were yellow because they were glowing, not yellow-skinned. He also claims that they came out of his God book,
I love it so much.
which we've since established was actually the illustrated children's Bible that we keep on his nightstand. And when we first had the conversation with Charlie, he claimed that they were yelling at him to warn him about his bad dreams, which is only marginally less frightening an image.
Right, that doesn't seem like it would help. Like, you're gonna have bad dreams, Charlie. They're coming.
Here they come,
Yeah.
Charlie. You're going to have a nightmare tonight.
Just so you know.
That's like a banshees
Yes,
that we've
totally.
discussed before.
Yep.
An omen.
Yes.
Foretelling of bad news.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's absolutely frightening. But what I gather at this point is that Charlie alleges that women with a yellow glow, possibly angels, question mark, emerged from his Bible to protect him in some way from having nightmares. Framed this way, his experience seems almost like a benevolent haunting rather than something malicious. I'm not religious, and I'm also a bit of a skeptic about the paranormal, but my wife and I won't deny that the experience Charlie describes of the yellow ladies, regardless of what angle you choose to interpret it from, is pretty spooky, inexplicable, and an extraordinary story to come out of the mouth of a 2-year-old.
Yeah. I love that story.
The yellow ladies.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. Mike sent me this story, and then he also texted me.
Yeah. Update?
Yeah. He texted me with a little more context for the story.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to show this to everybody on the live stream here if you're watching the video version.
Cool.
So this is the
Okay.
book where the yellow ladies come from. And
Yep.
you can see that they do appear to be angels. It's sort of a nice kidsy
Yeah.
image, whatever. It's supposed to be comforting.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
But I find the message that Mike typed out accompanying this image to not be very comforting.
Hit me.
Yeah. Charlie just showed me this in his book, but he says this is where they came out of, and they didn't look like this.
Oh.
They were out of the book, and all of them was yellow and glowing.
Oh,
So, like, even
okay.
their faces, everything.
Yeah.
And he said that they could only see him and asked where he was because they couldn't see his surroundings.
Oh my God. That is not comforting.
No. So that reverses everything for me, to be
That
honest.
changes a whole lot for me as well, because like
Where
if
are
they're
you?
so knowing
So where are you right now?
that they're aware, that we want to think that they're aware of his nightmares coming, they're warning him.
Yeah.
They're aware of that, but they don't know where he is. That sounds like a wolf in sheep's clothing to me.
Uh-huh. Oh, 100%. 100%.
So where are you, Charlie?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to have bad dreams tonight. Let me let you know about that so that you're not too freaked out. And by
Yeah.
the way, where are you right now? Tell me where you are.
The next up is, do you like it there?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or can we come in?
Yeah.
It's like a vampire.
Yes.
Right? Like you have to invite them or something
Right.
like that. It's very alarming to me, the
Yeah.
idea that they can see you
Yeah.
almost like on the internet. Like you can connect from computer to computer.
Right.
But you need additional access to be able to like override somebody else's system.
Right. I wonder
know?
if it's almost like they can see him in the astral plane.
Yeah.
So that they can see that maybe Charlie has entered their dimension somehow.
Maybe.
And they're like, oh, somebody's in here with us. So they're like, hey, where are you?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. 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 Where are you?
Huh.
Where are you?
Well, let's keep a close eye on that.
Without a doubt. The yellow ladies. Very
I
frightening.
love that.
Very, very frightening.
Well, guys, we're going to go.
Yeah.
We'll investigate. Maybe this plane where the yellow ladies came from. Maybe that's the netherworld we'll have to travel to this week in between episodes.
Perhaps this could be the very same highway that we
Yeah.
take in the netherworld at
That's
the end
right.
of every single episode.
That's right. So we can take Charlie by the hand and make sure that he's fine there.
Absolutely. 100%. Charlie will be absolutely fine.
Oh, he's safe with us.
But I do wish to know more about these yellow ladies.
Me too. Charlie, if you could record a video message and tell us more about the yellow ladies, I'm very interested to hear that.
It's so scary that they come out of the God book.
Well, that's conflicting to me. I would think that they would be, on the up and up.
But all of them is yellow, head to toe, not just
Right.
the cloak they're wearing. So it's almost like a poor imitation
Yeah.
of what's actually in the book, right?
Oh God.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a narc trying to act like a teenager, but they're not pulling it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. How's it going,
So,
fellow kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Be careful.
Be real careful.
All I'm saying is be careful. And when they do you a favor and they warn you that nightmares are coming, don't take that as a sign that you should put your trust in them.
No. That may be them like throwing you a bone, getting you hooked on the first taste.
Crazy.
Not good.
Crazy.
Or maybe fine. Maybe fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's fine.
Maybe it's completely fine.
Yeah. Maybe it's great.
It probably is.
Maybe it's great. It's probably angels.
It probably is. It's probably totally normal and fine.
Very much so.
Oh, well, there you have it.
There you have it, guys. So if you want to enter our contest to win one of our dybbuk boxes, make sure you do what we said at the beginning of the show and share our show with people and tag us so that we know.
Yep.
Also, you can find us online at GTTUpod everywhere. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can find our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GTTUpod. And coming out with this, people are sharing like really awesome stuff, especially lately. I feel like there's been like a big uptick of like cool posts and stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true.
If you want to get extra entries for the dybbuk box contest, or you just want to support us, you can become a Patreon of ours by going to patreon.com/GTTUpod. And you can also find Will and I individually online. I'm on Instagram at ChillinKristen.
I am at Haunted Sponge. So happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
We hope that you have a wonderful time. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. So we will see you next time when we will once again get spooky and announce the winners of the contest. But until that time comes, we must travel.
Back to the netherworld go we! That was the box talking. Whoa!